Good morning, children. So, today we will be moving to the next chapter of basic concepts of macroeconomics. I'm showing you the chapter because national income is a very important part. So, just go through what I am telling. Okay. So, the very first concept of macroeconomics, or you can say that we need in our national income sums, is the domestic territory. Domestic territory is a very important concept in national income accounting. Okay, in layman's language, what it is said, it means the political frontiers of a country. However, for the purpose of national income accounting, it is used in a wider sense. So, domestic territory means the boundary, the political boundary of the country. Now, what does it consist of? It consists of the ships and the aircrafts owned and operated by the residents of the countries between two or more countries. Means the planes operated by Air India between Russia and Japan, means it is owned by our country. It is owned by our country, but the services are shared by the other countries also. Okay. Next is fishing vessels, oil and natural gas rigs and floating platforms operated by the residents of a country. For example, fishing boats operated by Indian fishermen in international waters of Indian Ocean will be considered a part of the domestic territory of India. Because why? Because first of all, Indian citizen, and when it is in the international waters, then we should not consider. But as it is an Indian citizen and it is working for the interest of the country, then we will be counting it under the domestic territory. Embassies, consultees and military establishments of the country located abroad. Now, Indian embassy in Russia, it is a part of the domestic territory. But in India, if there is Pakistan embassy or Russian embassy, that will not be considered as a part of the domestic territory. Okay? But Indian embassy in Russia will be considered as a part. Okay? Next is domestic territory. What does the components of the domestic territory does not include? Embassies, consultees and military establishments of foreign countries. With that I said, Russian embassy, Pakistan embassy in India will not be considered under the domestic territory. Okay? Now the next part is international organizations like UNO, WHO, etc. located within the geographical boundaries will not be considered, because these are international organizations and they are working for the international interest of the people. They are not working for the interest of India. They are working for the interest of the whole, all the countries, all the nations. So it is not considered under the domestic territory. Next, who are the normal residents of a country? Normal residents of a country refers to an individual or an institution who ordinarily resides in the country and whose center of economic interest also lies in that country. So, normal residents of a country refers to whom? For an individual who is residing within the geographical boundaries, as well as who is working for the interest of the nation. Means if he is providing any service, he is producing anything, it is all for his nation. So that person is called a normal resident. It includes both individuals as well as institutions. Now, what is the main thing that it is saying? That the country refers to an individual who resides in a country. That I said. See, it resides, that means it is located within the domestic boundary of the country. And whatever the economic activities carried out by him, that is earning, spending, accumulation, production, anything is for the interest of the country. Okay. Next we come to the following are not included under the category of normal residents. The first is foreign tourists and visitors, those who are coming from abroad to India. Foreign staff of embassies, officials, diplomats and members of the armed forces. International organizations, employees of international organizations. So you can see everything, that is foreign tourists, visitors, embassies, international organizations and the employees of international organizations. What are they doing? They are not working for the interest of a particular country. They are working for the interest, for the benefit of all the nations. So, moreover, as they are not residing within the domestic territory of the country, so these are not counted under the normal residents. only those who are located within the geographical boundary and those who carry out the basic economic activities of spending, that is buying, then production, earning money for the interest of the country, they are considered as the normal residents. Now, the next part is citizenship. Citizenship and residentships are two different terms. Now, citizenship, it is basically a legal concept based on the place of birth of the person or some legal provisions allowing a person to become a citizen. It means Indian citizenship can arise in two ways. When a person is born in India, he acquires a citizenship of India. A person born outside India applies for citizenship in Indian law, allows him to become the Indian citizen. So citizenship is a legal concept. Suppose I am born in India, okay, and due to some legal provisions I am a citizen of India. Okay, means Indian citizenship can come in two ways. First, when you are born in that country and you automatically acquire the citizenship of that country. Second is when a person is born outside India, but he or she is applying for the citizenship of India, then the Indian law allows him or her to become the citizen of India. Okay, so one is legal, which comes automatically, another is provided by the Indian law. Next is residentship. It is an economic concept based on the basic economic activities performed by a person. An individual is a normal resident of a country if he ordinarily resides in the country for a period of more than 1 year and his center of economic interest also lies in that country, then that person is considered as a resident of the country. Means economic activities which are performed by the resident is within the country, okay, and the person has resided for more than 1 year in the country. So he becomes a resident of that country. So if we see it indirectly, see the example given. A Chinese living in India for more than 1 year is a resident of India. However, he is not a citizen of India. He is a citizen of China. So a person can be both a citizen of a country as well as a resident of another country, where he or she has worked for more than 1 year or resided for more than 1 year. Okay. Now, the concept of domestic territory and normal resident.